Twister on 4K and in Dolby Atmos. We finally have this in the United States. There was an alternate version. I think it was available in Europe that had Atmos, but I think it was just a Blu-ray. And you had to order it, you had to import it. But now we have the official version, and I got the Steelbook. You can order it from Amazon or Groove.com. It is now available for everybody to have. This movie is a classic, and I'm going to explain why I think it's a classic. It's a classic for me. Twister was literally my first introduction to home theater. I had a friend who connected his parents' stereo system. It was just stereo, so it's just two big speakers, connected it up to his VCR, and he had the movie Twister. And we would watch that movie on repeat, just constantly, because the sound was so good and it was just so enjoyable, and it was unlike anything we'd ever seen. Twister was a big deal when it came out. It was a movie that really, really got into what CGI was capable of. We had Jurassic Park a few years before that, but Twister just took it to the next level as far as transporting you into an environment that otherwise you wouldn't be able to see, which, in a tornado, like, that's really cool. And so this movie was really big, and watching Twister on my friend's home theater, it was just a stereo system, but the upgrade over just the TV speakers was so massive. I really caught the vision of what home theater could be. So to have Twister on 4K and in Dolby Atmos and watch it here in my home theater, it kind of just brings my home theater journey full circle. So this one has a special place in my heart, and I'm so happy to finally have it on 4K. So now, what do I think of it? I've watched it. Is it good? It looks really, really good, and it sounds amazing. I watched it with my wife, and she pointed out, she's like, the movie itself, it's okay. She says, but the sound is amazing. It's so incredible. And I agree. It sounds awesome. And I'm so happy that the sound engineers have gone back to the original and they've remixed it in Dolby Atmos, and it makes full use of the sides, the surrounds, the heights, everything. It's like it was built for surround sound, to be in a tornado and just have sound all around you. This is a Dolby Atmos dream right here, and there is so much demo material. I would venture to say that this is one of the best Dolby Atmos tracks out there, and there are a lot of good ones, but this one, A+. So the movie, I've seen this movie dozens of times, literally, but I haven't seen it in probably over 25 years. How does it hold up? Well, it's funny. It's funny to watch it now because most of the movie essentially has two elements. You've got the amazing special effects of the tornadoes and the storms and the action that comes with it, and then you have the marital drama between Bill Paxton's character and Helen Hunt's character. And, they're getting a divorce, and he shows up to have her sign the divorce papers, and then tornadoes ensue. And plot-wise, it's okay. I did find it interesting how they incorporated elements of this marital drama into the story as a way of furthering the story. The biggest example of that is Bill Paxton's new woman that he is now planning, his fiance that he's planning to marry, played by Jamie Gertz, who, interestingly, I believe is the richest woman in Hollywood. She is worth billions and billions of dollars. But anyways, that's an aside. Anyways, Jamie Gertz is his fiance, and she works as a vehicle for exposition because she comes in and she's like, tornadoes? I've never heard of tornadoes. Like she knows literally nothing. And so the team, the crew, they explain everything to her, which works as a vehicle for explaining everything to the audience. An F1, F2, F5 tornado. And then all of the different elements of a tornado and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then once they've done enough exposition dump on the audience and they don't need her anymore, she bails and she breaks up with him and heads out. I guess I should have said spoilers. I'll probably put that in there. A warning. People get upset when you talk about the plot, even of a movie that's 30 years old. But yeah, so plot wise, it's all right, but it is a Dolby Atmos demo dream disc. It really is. This one, if you have a home theater, you're a home theater enthusiast, you enjoy good sound, you're a Dolby Atmos enthusiast, this is a must-have for your collection. You've got to have this movie. It's a no-brainer. You've got to have it. Something else that is interesting about this movie is some of the other cast members. So obviously you have Bill Paxton as the lead. Helen Hunt is lead with him. And you have their crew of storm chasers. And in that crew, you have Alan Ruck, who plays Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And so it was funny to see him in this movie. Obviously, this is made after Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but he had a very small part. He only had a few lines. In those lines, basically all you learn about him is that he's really, really anal about his maps, and he gets upset because somebody else folded a map, and he's like, you roll the maps, you don't fold the maps. And that's all you know about him. But backstory, I guess, I don't know. But I thought that was funny or cool to see him in this movie. The most interesting character or casting decision in this movie was Philip Seymour Hoffman as the hipster surfer bro doofus kind of guy. He's kind of channeling his Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure / surfer dude persona. So when the movie came out, he wasn't, I don't think, very well known, but obviously Philip Seymour Hoffman went on to have a great career. He has incredible range, and I'm sure when this movie first came out, people were like, oh, that guy's just annoying, because his character is annoying. But after seeing him in further movies, you look back on that role and you're like, wow, he's showing real range. Because shortly after this, shortly around the same time, he did The Big Lebowski, which his role in that movie is just hilarious as Lebowski's assistant. Anyways, it's just fun seeing these characters, these actors, from in their roles from 30 years ago, chasing storms. The other interesting guy in this movie is the villain is played by Cary Elwes, most famously Wesley from The Princess Bride. And he's the villain because he's a storm chaser who has corporate sponsors. That's right. He's a sellout. He's not in it for the science. He's in it for the money. And so obviously that makes him the villain. Also, he's he plays it up. He's not a very nice guy. And spoilers, warning, he meets his deserved fate, I guess you would say. But anyways, it was this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's interesting because they couldn't just have the whole movie just be tornado after tornado after tornado, though they kind of still do that. But they need other action besides just the tornadoes. And so what they did is they made driving very, very dramatic. So there's like a caravan of cars and they're speeding down a dirt road. There's multiple scenes of this. They're just tearing down a dirt road and the music is playing really loud and it's high energy, and there's dramatic camera shots, pans, angles, and so they're cool. The scenes are cool. I just thought it was funny. I'm sure they're, the writers in the writing room, they're like, okay, well, we have the tornadoes. Obviously, that's going to be engaging. That's going to be thrilling. What else could we do that's thrilling? Well, they're going to be driving. Let's make that thrilling. And so they do. But anyways, it's a lot of fun. It was a good movie, and it really was groundbreaking in what it did in moving CGI a forward as a medium for special effects in movies, and it really advanced and demonstrated what CGI was really capable of. Now, 30 years later, how does the CGI look today? I would say not great, but that's I don't think that's a big deal, because at the time they looked incredible. And, when it comes to things like this, special effects, it's, you're not going to get it amazing right out of the box. Like, it's a progression, right? And so this movie demonstrates it is a step in the long line of progression of CGI advancements. And so for that reason, I think it's great and it's a lot of fun, and you should get it too. Thanks for watching.